We're in the Red Big Ideas Record and Practice Journal. We're in Chapter 2 today, and we're on 2.3, Subtracting Rational Numbers. Number 7 gives us kind of a messy problem to start with. The advice I would say is just make sure you're starting left to right. Work your way across left to right and follow your rules for positive and negative numbers. We have 2.5 plus negative 6/7. Our signs are different, so we essentially just need to subtract. So we just need to subtract 2.5 minus 7/6. We know our sign is going to be positive because 2.5 is bigger than 7/6. We still have to find least common denominator. Least common denominator between 2 and 6 would be 6. So we have 3/6, and this is going to stay the same, 7/6. The problem is I can't take 7 away from 3, so I need to borrow from my 2. My 2 goes down to a 1. When I borrow from my 2, I gain 6 6s. So I'm going to show that as, that's my 1 whole, and I'm just writing that as 6/6. Then I'm going to add that onto my 3 6s, so I technically now have 9 6s. Then I want to take away 7 6s from 9 6s, which is going to leave me with 2 6s. And I still have that 1, so I got to bring down 1 and 2 6s. And then I do need to put it in simplest terms. So I would turn 1 and 2 6s into 1 and 1/3. Just simply cutting 2 in half and cutting 6 in half. Now I have 1 and 1/3, which essentially is this big mess. 1 and 1/3 minus 1 and 3/4. Now, because we're subtracting, we want to change subtraction to addition, and then we want to take the opposite of the second, in this case, mixed number. So now, essentially, our signs are different again, so we're just going to subtract 1 and 3/4 minus 1 and 1/3. 1 and 3/4 minus 1 and 1/3. I'm kind of running out of room, so I'm going to just work it out over on this side. Have to have the same common bottom number. It's going to be 12 this time. If it's 12, it's 4 up there. And if it's 12, it's 9 up there. Times this by 3. Times this by 4. Sorry, it's hard to read. 9 minus 4 would be 5/12. So your answer for number 7 in your Record and Practice Journal would be 5/12. And let's see, because negative 1 and 3/4 is bigger than positive 1 1/3, my answer is going to be negative 5/12. You have to go with the sign that has the greater absolute value. I do have one more problem, number 8. Hopefully number 8's a little bit easier. We are dealing with decimals. Follow your rules. If you're subtracting, you want to change the sign to addition and take the opposite of the second one. So essentially on this one, we're just doing 2.37 plus 1.55. Not too bad, a little bit easier than our first problem. 3.92. Remember, if you're doing your decimals, stack your decimals so they are directly stacked on top of each other. And that was plus. So now we got 3.92, which essentially is this big pile of numbers. And now we're doing 3.92 minus 2.48. Again, go back to red. We're going to change our sign to addition, and we're going to take the opposite of the second one. Now, because we have 3.92, and that's positive, and we're adding negative 2.48, our signs are different. Because our signs are different, we're actually just going to subtract. So this would be just simply 3.92 minus 2.48. Make sure we do a little borrowing here. 9 becomes an 8. 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So your answer would be 1.44 for number 8. And then remember for number 7, it was negative, way up here, negative 5/12.